Hello and welcome to another edition of the blog. I figured today's special review would be about the movie Cruel Intentions, which happens to be celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. I'm like, wow, where does the time go? It's like it goes really fast. And what makes Cruel Intentions rather special is that it reunites Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Phillippe, who previously worked together in I Know What You Did, uh, last summer, 2 years, prior to that. This time around, however, the actors play stepbrother and stepsister Sebastian Valmont and Catherine Martoi. And of course, Cruel Intentions is based off the Dangerous Liaisons movie, but it's kind of like a modern twist to it. And of course, Sarah Michelle Gellar does a really, fantastic job playing the evilly cruel and wicked and malicious Catherine, who will seduce and screw anybody over just to get revenge, and the type of person who shows no type of remorse towards her actions, whereas Sebastian seems more of like a softy underneath the tough bad boy exterior. And of course Catherine makes a wager with Sebastian that if he can seduce, the headmaster's daughter Annette, that the two of them would, of course, fulfill his, deepest fantasy, which is to have sex with her. Otherwise, if he fails, then she ends up getting his 1956 Jaguar, Roadster, which was something that she wanted. And of course, along the way, when Sebastian does meet Annette, he realizes that he really cares of her and doesn't think of her as a conquest like he did with the other females that he previously seduced. And of course, the film also goes to show Catherine's manipulative tendencies, and of course wanting her own little revenge on a potential student named Cecile, who was her ex-boyfriend Court Reynolds dumped her for. And and she would stop at any she wouldn't stop at anything until that happens. And of course the film goes into the world of Manchester Prep. And of course it was kind of like Cruel Intentions kind of set up what would eventually happen, like say Gossip Girl and things like that. And it still remains one of my favorite I guess 90s movies, and still holds up rather memorably to this day. And like I said, even 20 years later, the film is kind of like what you would call like a cult status masterpiece, I guess, if that's one way of looking at it. And you get a chance to see the awesome scenery of New York, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's my verdict on the movie. So like I said, people that have seen Cruel Intentions previously or for the first time, it's definitely a worthwhile experience. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. Good night.